So our first member who entered the room is Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn.
When I
meditate, I can see the mindfulness getting stronger, become no worse. Sometimes I can see the rise and fall of the feeling and thinking. When the mindfulness become weak, I use Bhutto to overcome it. I continue to practice like this. Is this the way, the correct way?
It depends. What do you mean? If you're not meditating, if you're watching your thoughts, watching your feelings, and try to stop it, that's okay. But when you meditate, you want to stop your thoughts altogether. You don't want to think. So yes, I think you are on the right track. But when you meditate, you should focus on one object, such as your breath. But when you're not meditating, you can watch your body movement, or you can watch even your feelings. But it's better to have something more stable, like the body, to watch. Because if you watch your feeling can change, keep changing, and it might not make your mind become still. You want to have mindfulness to still your mind first. Once you know how to still your mind, then you can still the other objects, such as feelings when they come up. So if you're not meditating, I recommend you using a mantra. Keep watching your body movement. And when you meditate, you can use the mantra Bhutto or watch your breath, rather than watch other things.
Ajahn, you mean when I meditate, if my mindfulness become weak, I cannot use Bhutto to overcome it?
Yes, you can. If you're watching your breath and you feel that you can no longer watch your breath, and you want to use Bhutto to help you, you can do that. But don't look at other things like your feelings.
Okay. All right.
Just watch either your body or Bhutto.
Okay. No need to see the feeling.
No need to see the feelings or thoughts or anything. Just keep watching your breath. If you're sitting or using the mantra, and if you're not sitting, just keep watching your body. Whatever your body is doing, stay with your body all the time.
Okay. I didn't go in and see the feeling and thinking, but I know the feeling and thinking appear.
Disregard them, ignore them. Just pay attention to your breath. If you're watching your breath, just keep watching your breath. If you're watching your body, just keep watching your body.
Okay. I just maintain the mindfulness, continue mindfulness, like practice in the situation, right?
Yes, until you can get your mind to become perfectly still in jhana. And you want to get to that point, and then master your ability to enter into jhana at any time before you can go on the next step, that is vipassana. Then you can observe your feelings. You can observe the changing nature of your body and so forth.
But every time when I meditate, I feel very like the body in the very like flying in the sky, very peaceful, very mindful. I can feel my mind very still, very stable.
keep it for a long time. Try to make it stay still for a long time.
Still for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Still practicing this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Try to master this samadhi first. Try to be very proficient.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Ajahn, like the four Lama Kanta, is it the last the last one, the Vijnana consciousness, is it cannot be seen?
Cannot be seen. No, your vijnana is the one who takes in the sensual objects, the sensual images, the image, sound, smell, taste, and tongue. This is the function of the vijnana.
Okay. Brother, may I know, is there anything else I should take note for my practice?
Well, mainly you should be mindful to keep your mind in the present, not to let it go to think about the past or about the future. Try to stop your thinking as much as possible until you are capable of stopping your thoughts anytime you want to. Then you can then move to the next level. That is to study the nature of your body as being impermanent, as being no self in your body, as being causing you suffering if you attach to your body. So that you can then let go of your attachment to your body. So that when whatever happens to your body, you will not be having any suffering.
Thank you. Brother, can you explain to me what is four jhana is samadhi?
The fourth jhana.
Can Brother Ajahn explain to me what is four jhana is samadhi?
Four jhana.
Is samadhi.
X samadhi. X.
No. 7878. EIGHT.
Eight.
Four jhana is samadhi.
Eight samadhi. Well, samadhi has 8 levels called jhana. Jhana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the different level of samadhi, different level of stillness and emptiness of the mind.
Okay.
You don't have to know them. You just have to know. You just have to have mindfulness. Then you'll get to know them. You don't have to know their names. Yeah. If you maintain mindfulness, your mind will become more empty and more still. And then you see the different level of jhana, different level of samadhi, that way.
All right, thank you. But then, I don't have food desire. I force myself to eat.
You have to eat to maintain your body, like you have to fill in the gasoline for your automobile. Because without the gasoline, your automobile cannot operate. So when it's time for you to fill your body with food, you just have to take food, but you don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to eat overeating. You just eat enough to maintain your body.
Okay, thank you. One more question, Brother Ajahn. I heard someone say, because like human life, so many problems, like our age is old, people say, okay, this life cannot reach to Sotapanna. People say must have a jhana samadhi or let go from next time we birth to heaven, no need to come back to a human life. Is it this one? Is it correct way? Because people say practice hard because cannot reach to Sotapanna. We even though we reach Sotapanna, we still want to rebirth again. But people say if cannot reach Sotapanna, at least have for jhana samadhi, next life we can revert to heaven. No need come back to human life. This human life, a lot of problems or virus, everything lah. People say like this. Is it right thinking or right way?
Well, it's only half right in the sense that if you have jhana, you will be born as a Brahma in the heaven realm of rupa, of form or formless realm of existence. But this is temporary. It's not permanent. Eventually, you will have to return and reborn as a human again. The only way not to reborn as a human is to reach an anagami level. Then you will not be reborn as human being.
Okay, because someone said this century a lot of problems in human life. Must have a for jhana samadhi, revert to heaven, and then avoid these problems, everything lah. People say lah, but if go Brahma world, cannot meet Arahant. Someone also said cannot meet Arahant in Brahma world because Anagami in other place we cannot meet together. In Brahma world, we also not easy to practice Dhamma. In human life, we can meet Arahant. Some because different people said different things. That's why I also want to ask about is it correct or not?
Well, the Brahma world you can enter by two methods. By the method of mindfulness, jhana. This is a temporary stay. You cannot stay in that Brahma world forever. When your mindfulness becomes weakened, then your defilement will push your mind back to be reborn as human. But if you enter the Brahma world because of your attainment to the anagami level, then you will not return back as a human being, and you can continue on your vipassana practice to reach Arahant without having to have no other Arahant to teach you, because you know the way already. So you can do it yourself without having an Arahant. Once you become an anagami, it's almost automatic that you will become Arahant sooner or later.
Like in Brahma world, next time past Buddha given Dhamma talk in human life, got the day my friend asked about this question, like angel or deva come down to listen Buddha Dhamma talk. Is it the angel or the deva from the Brahma world or from which heaven?
From the lower level, lower than the Brahma world, called the Deva world, the central realm of central heaven. The Brahma world is essential, no sense, no sex, no desire, no sexual desire in the Brahma world. But in the world of the Devas, the heaven of the Devas, they still have sexual desire. So a different level of heaven. It's lower than the Brahma world. The Deva world is lower. And in the Brahma world, the Buddha can communicate. But in the Brahma world, the Buddha will not be able to communicate with those who enter the Brahma world. That's why he could not help his two teachers who passed away before he became enlightened, and they both entered into the Brahma world, and he could not contact them because they are off the grid, of the internet grid. Cannot. While the Deva are still in the internet grid, the Buddha can still connect with the Devas, but not the Brahma. But the Deva who became an anagami, they don't need the teaching of the Buddha anymore. they know the teaching themselves. They know how to become an arahant. So they can become an arahant even if they have entered the Brahma world.
Okay. That means even though Brahma world also not easy to get Dhamma, not easy to
impossible. You cannot get Dhamma from the Buddha or other arahants if you enter into the Brahma world, because you disconnect yourself from the grid. You disconnect your phone, so no one can reach you.
Okay. Some more. Okay. Like the past Buddha, is it any mention? Future, but one Buddha is what is it the name? I forgot lah. Is it the coming Buddha?
Yeah, the future Buddha. There are many future Buddha, but they only come once in a long time. And there were many past Buddhas also. Yeah. But they all do the same thing. They teach the same. They teach the same message. So it doesn't matter which Buddha you meet; they are all the same.
Yeah,
they are not better or worse than the other.
Yeah, because I want to because we get the wrong thing, wrong teaching last time. Do you know? I want to slowly digest the wrong thing. Last time we heard about Buddha mentioned that one Buddha in future coming, that Buddha, and then another Buddha also. And then sometimes we read the wrong book, we get the wrong information. That's why I lucky to meet Brother Ajahn Suchart. I want to make confirmation, and then is it the last time the wrong things I want to throw all the rubbish. Okay. Brother Ajahn, I wish you long life, safe and healthy. I want to be a Sotapan because not easy to find a teacher. I still need Brother Ajah's guidance.
You are almost there already. Just keep on practicing mindfulness for now.
Okay, thank you.
And try to get into jhana. Once you can get into jhana, then you can go to the next level of vipassana.
Brother Ajahn, now what is my condition? Is it in jhana? Is it for jhana?
Not yet, but you're having mindfulness, and you can maintain a certain level of calm, but not completely yet. You have to sit and really focus on your breath or on the mantra only until your mind can drop into samadhi completely.
Is it the last time I heard Brother say about the ubeka? Is it this what level about this?
That's the samadhi level, the jhana, the fourth jhana level.
The samadhi for jhana level.
Yes.
How we know we are in this level?
Oh, you know, because like when you're full, when you eat, when you're full, you know when you're full, right? You don't have to ask me if you're full or not.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Amrutana Prajan Sadhu.
Okay, you're welcome. Really, from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
No question?
No.
Okay. Mudita from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have a question today. I would like to ask about the difference between Samma Titti and Samma Sankappa, and how do they connect to each other?
Right view, Samma Titti is right view or right understanding. You can have right understanding and wrong understanding, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I give you direction, you go here and then you turn right, but you have the wrong understanding. You thought I said you go here and you turn left, so that's okay. So you have to be have to understand what the Buddha mean when he say anicca, dukkha, anatta. Sometimes we say anicca is permanent instead of impermanent, right? Because when you see the body, you want it to become permanent, right? See, that's wrong view, wrong understanding. Right understanding is the body is temporary. It's gonna break down into the four elements one day, sooner or later. So this is wrong view. And next one, Samma Sankappo means right thinking or wrong thinking.
Right.
If you have right view, then you'll have right thinking. If you have the view that the body is temporary, then you'll keep thinking, I must not cling to my body. Because by clinging to my body, I will get dukkha. So this is right thinking.
Okay.
If you have wrong thinking, if you think your body is gonna last forever, then you'll keep clinging to your body.
Right.
And when you cling to your body, when something happens to your body, you will have dukkha. Okay. So right thinking follow right view, right understanding. And the way to get right view or right understanding is to study the teaching of the Buddha.
Right.
That's why you first need to study when you get to the point of vipassana. You can study parts of the Buddha teaching one at a time. If you're on the dana level, you learn how to give dana. If you're on the sila level, you learn how to keep the sila. When you're on the samadhi level, you learn how to maintain mindfulness and enter into samadhi. And once you get to the wisdom or vipassana level, then you learn how to develop wisdom.
Right.
But you need the Buddha's instruction so that you can do it properly and correctly.
Right.ท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ May I ask if Samadhi or the right view is the most important one in the Eightfold Path or the first one that we should have? Because if we have the right view, then we will have the right thinking, right speech, and right action.
That's right. Everything follow right view.
Okay.
Wrong view, then everything follow wrong view.
Right. Okay.
When people say they don't believe in the Buddha, they don't think there is Nibbana, then there's no need to practice dana. There's no need to keep the precept. There's no need to practice meditation.
Right.
Because if you don't believe there's Nibbana, there's the end of cessation of suffering. So what's the point of doing all these things for?
Yes, true.
That's why you first need to have right view. And the place to get right view is the Buddha, Dhamma, or Sangha. They will give you the right view.
Right.
But now the Buddha is not with us, so we have to rely on the Dhamma teaching, the teaching of the noble disciple. And they will give you right view.
Like coming here, giving me the right view.
I'm not sure if you're getting the right view or not here. I don't guarantee. Don't put me on the spot.
Okay. Okay, that is very, very clear. Thank you so much, Ka.
Okay.
Sadhu.
Next, Nanapat from Bangkok also.
Good evening,ท่านอาจารย์. No question, just listening.
No question. Okay. Kwan Liman from Malaysia. Thank you for your donation, Kwan Liman.
Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to make a dana to Ajahn. Yeah, Ajahn, this Friday I'm going for a retreat in a monastery in Malaysia. So it's a self-practice retreat. Ajahn, can I please get some advice from Ajahn? What do I main thing to do on a self-practice retreat?
Well, first of all, you want to not congregate with other practitioners. You want to stay alone as much as possible, except when you have to go do something together, like eating or cleaning or something like that. Even when you meet people, you should not talk if it's possible. Keep silent and do your work, do whatever you have to do, and being mindful all the time. And then when you're alone, keep maintaining or developing mindfulness by walking and sitting, doing these two things, either walking or sitting. If you're not walking, you should be sitting. If you're not sitting, you should be walking. Unless when it's time for you to go to sleep, when you go to sleep. But you should only sleep for about 4 or 5 hours at the most. And then you should get up and do more walking and sitting meditation. Trying to do as little as possible other things. Do only when you really have to do it. If you don't have to do it, don't try to find things to do to pass the time. It's not worth it. It's much better to do walking or sitting meditation all the time. But if you feel that sometimes you can no longer meditate, practice, then maybe you can switch to listening to Dhamma talks or reading Dhamma books. That's a change of pace, change of. Sometimes listening to Dhamma talks or reading can enlighten you, can make you have better understanding of what you should be doing.
Thank you, Ajahn.
How many days you're gonna be there?
3 weeks. Hopefully, I'll come back after Christmas if everything is okay.
And you're allowed to practice alone all this time?
Yes. Maybe to join in some activities that they have, like chanting or morning that we have a group sitting last time. Yeah, and a very simple routine.
Yeah. Try not to socialize. Try to avoid socializing.
Not many people because it's actually closed for public, but I asked permission to go.
Okay, good. I hope you find peace and insight from your practice.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Sajal Ka from Silver Spring, Maryland. Oh, your sound is not so good.
Ajahn,
Go ahead. I think your connection is not so good today.
Oh, that is possible. That is possible. Yeah, I have no questions today, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Then we go to Gokseng then from Singapore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. Okay, tonight I have a question which was bothering me yesterday. Yesterday I was feeling upset over a remark triggered by one of my friend. What happened was this: my mother, she's staying alone with a domestic maid who is also her caregiver, and so I have 5 other siblings, brothers and sisters, but my mother is not staying with any of her children. So this friend of mine will sometimes when I'm trying to during some conversation, then he will always bring up like, oh, you are not staying with your mother, you're not fulfilling your duty as a son and so on, and this will sometimes cause me to feel a sense of guilt and feeling upset because I'm not able to save my mother. So I'd like to ask Ajahn, what should be the this feeling of this friend of mine? This is not the first time he says something to so-called trigger these feelings in me. So I just want to find out from Ajahn, what's your advice on this?
Well, you have to look what she needs. If your mother needs you to be there, then you should be there. But if she doesn't need you to be there, then you don't have to be there. See what I mean? If for some reason you're not able to be there and look after her, but you hire someone to go and do it in your place, then it's okay. As long as she is well taken care of, that's the point that we should look at. If she is well looked after, then either you're there or not there, it doesn't make much difference, right? So look after her as well as possible. If you cannot be there yourself, then you can hire someone to go and do it for you. Then it's okay. Like I never go look after my mother, but I communicate with her regularly and see to it that she's well taken care of. Whatever she needs, if she cannot get it for herself, I'll give it to her once. So the end point is she is well taken care of. That's all you want. Make sure that she doesn't lack anything that she needs.
I visit my mother every week. This feeling I think I have because in our Chinese tradition there's this filial piety. So sometimes there's this guilt that we are supposed to stay with our parents and so forth. So sometimes I feel a bit guilty that my mother is not staying with me.
Well, it depends on the conditions and the situations, whether it's possible or not to be together. If it's possible, yes. Yeah. But sometimes being together can be counterproductive sometimes. When you're near each other, you can get mad at each other easily. But when you are apart, you seem to be more loving to each other. And when you're close to each other. So maybe it's good to keep a little distance. Then you feel love for each other more than you feel hate. But it doesn't really. I think that the question here is to whether she is well taken care of or not. That's the only
Yes,
thing that you should worry about.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's okay for the physical part. For the mental part, you might have to call her from time to time just to keep her calm, to make you feel that she's not forgotten or something. Or from time to time, you might visit her or take her outside to go someplace to do something together.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Karen from San Jose. Also, thank you for your donation, which you mean like giving to Netflix subscription.
You saw what I wrote.
Yeah.
Well, the big challenge was I can't give very much right now, and my bank wanted a huge fee, more than I could afford to even give. And I finally took the time. Monica actually inspired me. You could die tomorrow if you wait till you have more money. You could die and it'll never happen. So I found out, in case anybody else is wondering, I found a service called Zoom, but it's with an X, XOOM. And the fee is actually quite cheap, so I could just give what I could afford. And anyway, so it's funny. I knew that you would say something today, and I've been thinking about it all week. Like I'm gonna be all embarrassed. Anyway,
You shouldn't be. I think give people the encouragement to give.
Yeah, and I thought, well,
But you don't have to give to me. You can give to other charity you like.
Oh yes, but I get so much from what you do, and I'm sure there are costs involved in providing the Zoom and all of that kind of stuff. And yes, I said, if we can afford Netflix, we should be able to afford John's Suchart flicks or Dhamma flicks. Anyway, that's funny that they told you. Your assistants and your admins are so wonderful.
I think they're watching right now.
Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, and they don't say who they are. So I say, oh, hey, wonderful mystery admin in my emails. So hopefully I'm not driving them too crazy. I'll try not to. But I actually do have a couple of questions, and I believe you answered them, but I just want to clarify. So I was confused about the difference between samadhi and jhana, and it sounds like it's the same thing, basically.
Same thing. Jhana, just a different level of samadhi. Samadhi is a common word for for peace and calm. And jhana are the different level of peace and calm. The
Okay.
higher the number, the more peaceful and calm the mind becomes.
Okay, thank you. That clarified. Watching, I when I can't get into like the Facebook, the other Q&A that you do, sometimes I have problems with Facebook and I can't watch it live. I still watch all of the recordings, and it's amazing how I just learned something, and if I watch it again, I'll learn something new from the one I've already watched. So it's so helpful to have those recordings. The other question is, if I am repeating a mantra while I'm meditating, if I'm not thinking but I'm repeating a mantra, can I get into samadhi while repeating a mantra?
Yes, if you just keep concentrating, focusing on the mantra, and without allowing your mind to go think about other things, eventually your mind will sort of get into samadhi by like falling from a high place.
That actually happened to me this last week, and it was so nice. And then I thought, oh no, I got all excited. And then of course I came out of it like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. And then you lose it, right?
Yeah, you lost your mindfulness. You lost
Yeah.
your mindfulness.
And I knew right when I'm like, oh no, I'm going to lose it. There it went. Anyway,
But once you know, you can always go back in again.
it was exciting. And then I thought, well, okay, I don't want to get all upset that of course that's not going to happen all of the time. But okay, that helps a lot. Thank you very much. That's all I had.
Okay, the next time when you meditate, don't look at the result. Keep focused on your mantra. Forget about the result that you had experienced the last time. Sometimes we end up wishing or hoping to get the same result without doing the mantra. And
Yeah, I was thinking it's kind of like learning how to play an instrument. You know, you're not going to become a virtuoso in 1 week just because you know that you want to be one, right?
That's right. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. I hope you can join the Q&A on Sunday.
I'm going to try again. Yeah. I think it might be my Facebook settings. I have a lot of privacy settings, and I think it makes it so that I can't participate. So I'm going to have to look at that again.
Okay. All right. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
No question for now, Ajahn.
No question. Okay. Gavin Danapong and Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, John. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Okay. Yok Bay from New York.
Good evening, Brother John.
Yes. Good morning to you.
Yeah, today's very cold, that's why I put more clothes in my body.
Okay.
And also today I have a question for my friend about she's working in the home attendant, and then every single day the boss and buy the live animal, let her kill it. So what she have to do it?
Killing animal for your boss, for her boss.
Yeah, the boss for the food. They buy the animal, live animal, a chicken, and fish, everything.
And then she has to kill the animal.
Yeah.
And what you want to know?
No, any effect to her and any bad karma for the future?
Yes, because she's gonna end up being the animal that she killed and be killed by some other human being.
So what she have to do it as she don't want to kill for the animal?
Just quit the job and look for other job.
Nothing else?
Okay. Or maybe ask the boss to do some other work instead. The work that tell her that she's a Buddhist and she cannot kill.
Okay. This is a good idea too.
Yeah. It's
okay.
like when you're Muslim, you can tell them you don't eat pork, see?
Yes,
so
a good thing to get.
You can tell other people that you are Buddhist, so you cannot kill living beings, whether human or animals.
Yes, it's good way, yeah. And next thing is, this comes so many wireless, and I'm getting old because my friends worry about that. My co-worker is also worry about that. What is your comment for us to know?
To do what?
No, I mean the so many this next Omega or COVID and disease coming in the year.
Just think this is normal thing for life, for our life. If we don't get killed by this, we will get killed by something else anyway. So there's no way out. We're all gonna end up getting sick by something and die by something anyway. The only thing we can do is to prepare ourselves for this thing when it happens. Then we will not be hurt. The body might be hurt, but the mind will not be hurt. If you accept the truth, accept that this will happen to your body one day, sooner or later. And the best way to accept is to meditate or to recite the mantra or do chanting when you feel bad.
Okay. And also this time is I'm getting old, my age is 60. I'm still mentioned, and I'm doubt is 62 retired or 65 retired, and give me the advice and set the choice for me.
I'm 74 now. I'm still working.
Sorry?
I am 74 now, and I'm still working.
Oh, it's good. You are teaching the Dhamma. Is very, very helpful for us too. I need to get long life and teaching us to get the Dhamma in the heaven.
So keep working if you can. Just keep working rather than being lazy, not doing anything. It can kill you, laziness. So if you can keep on working, just keep on working. Make yourself active. Especially your mind, you should be mindful all the time. Then you will have no Alzheimer. You will have no dementia if you have mindfulness. Because you will always know what you're doing, see, with mindfulness. So how can you forget if you have mindfulness?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the teaching. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Good evening, Ajahn.
I don't have any questions tonight.
No.
Felicia, Adeline, no question from you either.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me go to Forest Town. Forest, are you still in California or are you back in Massachusetts now?
Hi, Ajahn. It's good to see you. I'm back in Boston. After being in California for a month, I spent 6 weeks at Temple Forest Monastery in New Hampshire, and I got back from there last week. So I'm here for 3 weeks, and then I'm going back to Temple Forest Monastery in mid-December.
Back to California?
No, the monastery in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, okay. Yeah. So you like going and stay in monastery now?
Yeah, it was really wonderful. I was really happy there, and my mindfulness got much stronger. But as soon as I come back home, it's been very hard, and I constantly want to go back there, and my mind is resisting meditation much more.
The environment has effect on your practice.
Yeah, like night and day.
Okay, but you can still keep on practicing though, as much as you can.
Yeah,
you should not abandon your practice. You should try to keep practicing as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to. My mind is always resisting while I'm at home though.
Yeah, you have to resist this resisting.
Okay. Yeah.
Have set up some kind of discipline. Force yourself to do the practice. Set up a schedule.
Okay.
Like when you're in a monastery. Make your home a monastery.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Any
have
question.
Yeah, I have one question. So when I was at the monastery, so I was trying to avoid talking to other people, and most of the time I was just practicing mindfulness of my body or breathing or mantra. But sometimes there would be some kind of dukkha in the mind, and it would persist for a long time. and then I would investigate the dukkha. And sometimes it felt like the investigation actually worked and it would cause the dukkha to go away. But other times it seems kind of useless to investigate and better to just stay with the mindfulness. So I just wonder what you think about that.
What method can do the job? It depends on which one is working at the time. Sometimes you don't have enough wisdom to see the cause of your dukkha. Then you might have to rely on your mantra, on the mindfulness instead. But sometimes you can see the cause of your dukkha. That, oh, I want something. I want to have this and I want to have that. And I cannot have it now. Then you just tell yourself that you just have to learn to live without what you want. Then your mind can become calm again. So it depends on whichever method you can use. Sometimes you can use vipassana, you can investigate. Or sometimes you cannot investigate, then you just use mindfulness.
So even though I would say I'm still at the level of trying to develop samatha, but still occasionally it's okay to use vipassana?
That's why occasionally you can use it and then alleviate your dukkha.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
But you still want to come back to your mindfulness again as your main principle practice until you can enter into jhana anytime, anywhere. Then you can when you come out of jhana, then you can then do the vipassana investigation more properly.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Alfredo from Brazil, Sao Paulo, Ubeka.
Hi, Bhante.
Hi, Ubeka.
Thanks, Bhante. Thanks, Bhante. Bhante, tell us about Kanchi, about to be patient. The patient has a good side and has a bad side, ne, Bhante?
Which one? What are you talking about?
Kanchi, to be patient.
To be patient, kanti.
Yes, kanti.
Kanti comes from ubeka. If you have ubeka, then you will have kanti.
Yes.
Your mind will not be reacting to anything. Then you have kanti. But if you have no ubeka, then you'll keep reacting to things. Yes. That means you're not patient. You don't have kanti.
Yes.
So kanti actually comes from ubeka.
Yes.
Come from you. If you have ubeka, you will have kanti. Right? Yes. You will be patient with people, with things around you. You won't get mad at them or anything.
Yes.
But if you have no ubeka, then you will get you can get easily angry when they don't do what you want them to, what you want them to do for you.
Yes.
So try to practice mindfulness to get into ubeka.
Yes.
But this is a temporary ubeka with mindfulness. If you want to have permanent ubeka, then you have to have vipassana. You have to see everything as being natural phenomena. Everything is like the sun and rain and wind. You cannot do anything about it. They come and go as they like.
The lokadhammas.
Right. Look at them as anatta.
Yes.
Then you will always have ubeka. Because you know it's pointless to do anything to react to them in any way. They won't do what you want them. They won't do what you want them to do for you anyway. Then you don't expect anything from them.
Yes.
Okay.
Kanti is a summatory. That's the teachings, ne, Buddha? Ne, Bhante? Kanti is all teachings, ne? Sati and Kusala and all good teachings, ne?
Yes, the Buddha's Kanti is the burning, the fire that burns all the defilements from your mind. Kanti.
Yes.
You need Kanti to burn your defilements, to resist your defilement. Without Kanti, you will not be able, you will succumb to the command of your defilements.
Yes.
So Kanti and Ubeka are the same thing.
Yes.
They're the same thing. But the Buddha used the language under different circumstances to make people understand better. But they all come from Ubeka.
Yes.
Once you have Ubeka, you have Kanti, you have loving, you have Metta, you have Karuna, you have Mudita also.
Yes.
So
in Farjana is more easy, né, Bante?
Huh?
In Farjana is more easy to have Upeka.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
Bante.
Okay. Next, Gek Yenso from Penang, Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yeah, I'm listening. No question today. Yeah.
Okay. Gary Singh from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. No questions for me tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Siddhartha from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question today. Thank you.
Okay. Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question today.
Okay. Sri in Czech, your turn from Vancouver.
Ajahn,
Hello, Ajahn, good evening.
may I say sadhu to Karen Ajahn
Okay.
for wonderful good deeds. Very good. And I love her comment about Ajahn Suchart Flix. Instead of Netflix.
Dhammaflix, she said Dhammaflix.
Dhammaflix, yes. I want the subscription, Ajahn.
Anything today?
Yeah. Ajahn, when we talk about mindfulness, so it's a mindfulness like we need to have the ability to stay like with the objects, either like breath or either mantra.
Yes,
and
to
then
focus
keep it
on
there.
you, to stay focused on one object, to prevent your mind from wandering, thinking about other things. If you have no mindfulness, then your mind can just drift and dream, daydream, thinking about this and thinking about that. And this will not make it calm or peaceful. So you want to stop it from wandering.
So the ability to stop it from wandering, like to bring our mind back to the present, like objects, that's also
right.
part of the mindfulness.
That's right. If you can stay in the present, that it means you have mindfulness. Strong mindfulness, let's put it that way. If your mindfulness is not strong, then your mind can still pull away and go think about the past or think about the future. Think about that person or this person.
Yeah, so during the meditation, I mean, we are fighting, right? Constantly fighting to bring our mind back.
Right. To stop it from wandering, to stop it from going all around.
Yeah, okay. It's like we are going to build.
So you need something to tie it with. So you need a mantra to tie it, or you need the breath or something.
Yeah, but sometimes we still lose it. Like meanings like we still need to develop even
It does
more.
mean because you have little practice, you have to learn, you have to do more practice.
Yeah.
As the more practice you do, the stronger your mindfulness will become. And eventually it will stop the mind completely. And the mind can become still, peaceful and happy. That's where real happiness is, the Buddha said. True happiness is in the peace of mind.
Oh, so Bhante, like for Vitakka and Vichara, is it?
This is the first level of focus. when you recite a mantra, you are doing vitaka, vichara.
Okay. That means we direct our mind to this object.
Just one object.
Yeah. And then we stay, meaning
Stay with it. And then your mind will become more calm, and then you will get happiness, and you will get rapture, and so forth.
Yeah, it will come, right? It will come. Like,
And as more you as your mind become more focused and more still, then it will eventually reach to ubekha. If you haven't reached ubekha yet, then you should stop focusing on your mantra or on your breath. Keep continuing, even though you might have raptures and happiness.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't stop, because as soon as you stop, you won't get any further. You won't get to ubekha.
Yeah. So meaning have to ignore the raptures like any other thing.
Yeah, just continue on with your focusing, your concentration.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for me.
So, Ajahn, can I please clarify? When you say stop, it means like we are enjoying the joy and then forget about the breath. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what usually happens when you have something come up. Then you switch your attention from your meditation object to whatever comes up. Sometimes there are images or something. I don't know, whatever that can come up, and then will distract you away from your concentration. So you should bring the mind back to your meditation object. Okay.
But if you are happy enjoying the breath, it's okay. Right? Like,
Yeah, but you have better waiting for you, better happiness. Ubekha is much better than the happiness that arises from when you're meditating. The happy feeling and ubekha is a little different. Ubekha is a feeling that's the natural, that comes from the mind being peaceful.
So Ajahn, sometimes we feel like pleasantness from the body. We ignore it as well, where we keep.
Yes, everything, just ignore everything. Just keep on focusing on your meditation object until you enter into ubekha, when everything becomes empty, when your mind becomes completely empty, nothing left in the mind except knowing and peace and happiness, a different type of happiness. This is happiness from emptiness, let's put it that way. We normally get empty, and we normally usually get happiness from something, right? But that is not good, because it's just temporary. We still rely on something to make us happy, and sometimes the thing that makes us happy can disappear, and then that happiness will disappear. But with emptiness, it will always be there. See, but we don't like emptiness. That's a problem. Our defilement don't want emptiness. We want to fill our mind with so many things to keep us happy, but they turn sour afterward when they disappear from us. But if we can keep the mind empty, then you'll find another type of happiness from emptiness. And then emptiness will never disappear, because it cannot disappear, because there's nothing for it to disappear. Emptiness is permanent. See?
Oh.
Like the emptiness of space is always permanent, right? If you go out into space, there's nothing in space. Space will always be there, right? But the sun and the moon one day will disappear, right? But what remains will be the space. Same way with things in your mind. When your mind becomes active, then you get thoughts, you get feelings, you got emotion, you got good feeling, bad feeling. You're taking turn, coming and going. But when you get rid of all of this, then all you have left is just emptiness in your mind. And that's where you'll find happiness from emptiness. So you have to try to get to that point. Once you get to that point, you'll be addicted. And this is good addiction. to be addicted to emptiness, because you don't have to go look for it. It's always there for you. But you keep running away from it. That's the problem. We don't like emptiness. We feel lonely when we're empty, right? But if you can stop your desire to run away from emptiness, then you'll find that being alone is not lonely. Being alone is happy. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn. What you just say is so beautiful, Ajahn. Thank you.
Jessica, where are you now? Back in the USA, or are you still in Thailand?
I'm still in Thailand.
Okay.
Um,
In Bangkok?
yes, still in Bangkok, waiting to fly next month.
Can you speak louder or
Yes.
closer?
I'm waiting to fly next month, Ajahn.
I see.
Yes.
You get all your papers ready?
Not quite, not yet, Ajahn.
Can you get back into the country? Into your country?
Whatever happens will happen, Ajahn. I cannot control the weather.
I see.
So,
But you have your vaccination already.
no, I'm planning to get vaccinated in America.
I see. Okay.
Yes. So I just have some questions for you today. So it's part of my experience that that had to do with my practice as well. So there was one day where I looked for myself, Ajahn. There was no one in the house.
Oh, because it's just an imagination.
Yes. And so there was a Dhamma talk with another Ajahn. He said, Longta Mahabua said once to his student that it's similar having a home, but there was nobody in the house. So I'm having like the same experience as what's happening in a certain staging of practice. So everything is like emptiness, Ajahn, and there's no more like the thinking mind, it's just the knowing mind, and it's very nice.
Yes. The point is to maintain that all the time.
Yes.
But sometimes if we haven't yet got rid of our defilement,
Yes.
our defilement will then come and try to make us think there's someone in the house.
Yes, exactly, Ajahn. And I think that's it. I think before there was a quote somewhere says like, your mind is a prison. You are the prisoner of your mind. And actually, that's very quite true. That's very quite true. Without any attachment, it breaks all the barrier of the thinking mind, and I understand why I practiced for so many years to get to now. So, and thank you for your teaching as well. And I'm planning.
You're only halfway there, because you get there by mindfulness.
Yes.
Now you want to maintain it by using vipassana.
Yes, of course.
Keep reminding you that there is no self.
Yes.
The self is just an imagination created by your own mind.
Yes, and outside as well, Ajahn.
Everything is the same. There's no self in everything. Sabbe Dhamma Anatta.
Yes. So, and thank you always for your teaching. I always go back to all your teachings, even though I'm not joining in the live.
Okay. All right. Good luck to your return trip.
Yes, I will be coming to see you before I leave, Ajahn.
Okay, you have to come in the morning.
Yes.
When giving food, because usually in the afternoon I don't receive any guests, and unless something if they make some previous arrangement first, but otherwise I prefer not to receive anybody.
Yes, Ajahn, thank you.
Okay. Next, Bruce Lee from Indonesia. I read your letter. Okay.
Ajahn.
So, you have any question in regarding to your letter?
No question, Ajahn. I heard this afternoon Dhamma talk from you. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Kenneth from Switzerland, professor.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Just finished your teaching?
Yes, I've just finished. So now I'm in the classroom. Ajahn, I have a question about the different realms of existence, like the heavenly realms or the hell realms and so on. I've heard it said that, even in this life, there are people who, it's like their state of mind is as if they are already in the hell realm or the heavenly realm. So could you comment on that, Ajahn, whether
Yes,
these realms,
yes. The mind is actually in different realms right now from the body. The body is in the physical realm, the realm of the four elements, the earth, water, fire, and wind, which create this body. And then the mind is in the spiritual realm. And the spiritual realms have many different levels, depending on the karma performed by the mind itself. So when we are at birth, the mind is at a level of human, because the good and bad karma are about the same. The bad karma cannot pull the mind down to a lower realm of existence, and the good karma cannot pull the mind up to a higher level of realm of existence. So the mind at birth is on a human level. But as soon as we grow up and we start to making more karma, sometimes good karmas and sometimes bad karma, then this will start to shift the balance of the mind from being human to either to go higher or to go lower, depending on the karma that we perform. So if we steal, if we cheat, if we lie, if we kill, then this bad karma is actually pulling the mind lower, even though the body is still in the physical world, but the mind is no longer human. The mind has now shifted to become animals instead, or worse, into the hell or hungry ghost level. But on the opposite side, if we keep on doing good karma like charity and keeping the precept, not doing any bad karma, then we are pushing the mind up higher to become devas of different levels. And if we meditate, then we push it even higher into the Brahma world. And if we practice vipassana, we push it even higher to the Arya or the noble disciple realm of existence. So these are different level of existence for the mind, which can shift back and forth in our lifetime, depending on the karma that we perform. So right now we can be a human being, but our mind can be devas, be angels, or we can be the devil. It depends on what we do. If we keep breaking the precept, then we go lower to become animals or to become hellish beings. If we do good karmas, we're pushing our mind up higher. If we practice meditation, we go into the form and the formless sphere of existence. Okay, and this happens regarding of the status of the body, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're a monk or a lay person, doesn't matter. What matters is the karma that we do that will affect our mind. Not what we gain from this world, like status, wealth, or fame, or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, is this clear enough? So right now you might not be human, you might be angels. Your heart, your mind is angel, but your mind is still, your body is still human.
Yeah. Okay, that's very clear, Tanajan. Very helpful for
If
me.
you can enter jhana, then you are Brahma. You know, your mind is a Brahma.
Okay.
And if you can reach vipassana level, you can let go of your attachment to your body and feeling, then you are on the Sotapanna level. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tanajan.
And the good thing about the noble disciple level is once you get there, you don't come back down.
Yeah.
But other levels, you can still come back down and go up, depending on your karma. But once you are Sotapanna, you know the effects of your karma. So you will never do any bad karma anymore.
Yes.
Because you know the effect it will have on your mind.
Okay.
So you'll keep doing just good karma once you become a noble disciple. So you will never come back down lower. You will not come back lower. You'll keep going up until you reach Nibbana. Okay?
Thank you very much, Tanajan.
All right.
Thank you.
B. Ravin Chindaporn from Bangkok. He used to study in England, in London. What's the school?
Imperial College.
Imperial College. Engineering also. He's an engineer.
Electrical engineering.
Yeah. Canada is an engineer teacher also, professor.
Oh, yes.
Just to let you know.
I've connected with Kenneth earlier this year.
I see. Okay.
He's in Switzerland. He told me about staying at, I think, Kaohsiung and how it's really tranquil, and that if I have a chance, I should try it out someday.
Yeah. You've been up there, but you never stayed there.
No, never.
In the night.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully one day.
All right. Any question?
Yes, Tanajan. I have a couple of questions. So I understand that it's important to achieve ubekkha. You mentioned it a lot in your teachings, in your Dhamma talks. You often mention about the importance of getting to the fourth jhana. So my question is, if we can't reach that yet, but we are at possibly a lower level of jhana, can we do contemplation? Or should we only do contemplation once we reach the fourth jhana?
Well, when you do jhana, you don't do any contemplation because they are counterproductive. They run against each other. Because when you do contemplation, you have to think. And when you try to get into jhana, you have to stop thinking. So you have to ask yourself what you want. You want jhana or you want contemplation? But your contemplation is useless because you don't have ubekkha to support your contemplation. And you will not be able to stop your defilement without ubekkha, even though you know that this is bad for you, but you will not be able to stop your defilement, your cravings, unless you have ubekkha. Once you know with wisdom that doing this thing is bad for you and you have ubekkha, then you have the ability to stop it. But if you know with wisdom that doing this thing is bad for you, but if you have no ubekkha, you still do it. Like people smoking, they know it's bad for them, right? But they still keep smoking because they cannot stop themselves from not smoking. But if they have ubekkha, if they practice samadhi and have ubekkha, once they know doing this is harmful to themselves, then they will stop it. So you need ubekkha to support your wisdom, your insight. Okay.
So knowing is not enough. We need ubekkha in order to
you have to do it.
To quell the defilement.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because when you have ubekkha, your mind becomes content, not hungry. So even though by habit you might used to like to have something like snacks or something like that, and then with ubekkha, I say I don't need to eat, and eating too much is bad for me. So you can stop eating. You can stop overeating.
Yes, that's true. I recall now. I think in our last talk you mentioned not to desire for food, but just eat for the sake of keeping the body going.
That's right. It's like filling up the tank for your car.
I remember when Thanajan said that, oh, just tell the waiter to bring whatever. Don't order something from the menu. You know, it's always tempting when you get to choose and you just go, do I like this more? Do I like this less? You know, and then you do it subconsciously. I've tried to think about what you said, and it's really hard to resist. You know, it's always tempting to eat something that I like.
You can order the food that you like, but you should mix them up before you take it into your body. Order everything that you like and put in the same bowl and mix it all up. Because they will be mixed in your stomach anyway, right? Sooner or later.
Yes.
So this is the way to eat, to fuel your body, not to fuel your mind. But if you choose the type of food you want to eat and the order of food that you're gonna eat, then you're filling your mind, not filling the body. Filling your defilements, feeding to your defilements. So we want to stop the defilements. So we should reverse the order. We should mix up all the food. So then there is no order of taking the food into your body. Then you're starving your defilement and you're filling your body.
Yes, there's a clear difference between the two, but because my mind is deluded, I think they're the same thing.
Yeah. So you do both. So you feed you feed your defilement when you feed your body also. That's why your defilement never disappear from your mind, because you keep feeding it. You keep looking after it. You should stop looking after your defilement. You should kill it. Stop it.
That's why we need samadhi to do that.
And also the wisdom of the Buddha to teach us how to do it, like eating. So the Buddha teach monks to put food in a bowl and mix them all up and before they eat.
That's a really good analogy, Thanajan.
Okay.
Thank you. May I ask one more question?
Sure.
Yes. Regarding Thanajan's, regarding your teachings about contemplating aging, sickness, and death, when we do that, do we do all three at the same time, or we just do one at a time?
Well, the purpose is just to remind us that this is going to happen to the body. However you do it, doesn't matter, as long as you don't forget that this will happen to your body. That's the purpose. That's the goal. Not to forget. We tend to forget because we get so involved doing other things. We forget that we'll get sick and die. So when there's something threatening the body, like the virus right now, we all get so excited. But if you keep reminding that your body will be attacked by sickness one day, then when things happen, you won't get excited. You know ahead of time already, if you don't forget. But we normally forget. So when we are attacked by sickness, then we become excited, become abnormal. When this is something very normal, getting sick, But we forget that we will get sick. We think we're going to be healthy all the time, right? So when we get sick, we become surprised. How can I get sick? That's because you forget to contemplate that sickness is natural for us. It comes naturally with the body.
I see. So
the Buddha said that once we are born, we are subjected to aging, sickness, and death, which come naturally to us. They are natural to the body. But we keep forgetting because we keep thinking about other things, keep thinking about accumulating happiness from wealth, from status, from possession, so forth. We forget that we will get sick one day. We will die one day. So when we are close to it, then we become excited.
And this is what binds us to the cycle of rebirth.
Yes.
Is it?
Because we keep going after things by using our body. We need to have the body to satisfy our sensual desire. But if we know that this body will not be able to support our sensual desire forever, then we might look for other alternative way of making us happy. And the alternative way is to meditate. Once you meditate and you get into jhana, then you have a different type of happiness. This kind of happiness doesn't rely on using the body to get us the happiness. So then we can don't need the body once we can have happiness from jhana, from stilling our mind. Then eventually we can stop using the body forever. Then we don't have to take rebirth because we don't need to buy a new body. Like if you don't have to travel anywhere, you don't have to go anywhere, then you don't need to have a car, right? But as long as you still have to go someplace, then you will then need to have a car to take you there. But if you can stay at home and don't have to go outside of your house, then there's no need to have a car to take you outside to go someplace. Same way, when you can stop your craving for sensual pleasures, then you won't need to have a body. Then you won't take birth in the human realm, but you will still take birth in the formless and form realm of existence, because you still rely on this samadhi, peace of mind as your source of happiness. Even this, you will eventually have to relinquish and let go before you can get into nibbana, full emptiness, real emptiness.
So samadhi from jhana, form and formless realm, is still considered a very subtle form of craving.
Yes, because the realm of existence, these two realms of existence, is still impermanent. And by being impermanent, it can cause you dukkha when it disappears from your mind. So even this, you will have to relinquish. First, you relinquish the happiness from the body, from using the body. Then you will then have to stop using happiness from jhana. And just keep the mind normal, like right now, but having no desire for anything. Then you will always be happy, because what causes you not to be happy is your desire.
Oh, I see. So even beings in the Brahma realm actually still have desire. They're not completely free from everything yet.
They still have desire for the Brahma realm. They want to remain in the Brahma realm forever. But due to the nature of the Brahma realm as being impermanent, they will still eventually have to come out of that Brahma realm, come to a lower realm. Because of the desire to have the Brahma, to stay in the Brahma realm forever, is the one that causing them to lose the Brahma realm.
Oh.
We call this the craving for form, or craving for formless sphere of existence. Bhava tanha, vibhava tanha, which sometimes is translated as craving for being and craving for non-being. But actually it means craving for the form and the formless sphere of existence. The rupa jhana and the arupa jhana. Okay.
So Brahma realm is impermanent, but Sotapanna and the noble level of noble disciples are permanent.
They are permanent, but they're not yet complete. You have to go until you get to the Arahant level, when you get complete emptiness, when you have completely relinquished everything, getting rid of all your cravings. Okay.
That's clear, Tanajan. Thank you very much for your insight today.
All right.
Thank you.
Next, Alexa Aruka from the Netherlands, Brazilian living in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands. Are you still consider yourself Brazilian, or you are Dutch now?
I don't know anymore, teacher. That doesn't matter for me. Every time I try I get out from Facebook, then Facebook gave me a name like Alexa Rowe. He makes it out of nothing, and then you said when you first noticed it, you said that's a weird name. But it is like this with me. It's not so important anymore. You know, I really feel like that. I live in a land. My life, I always moved since I was born with my father. We lived in 23 houses, different. He worked in a bank, so he have to check those times was he have to inspect. He was inspector.
I see.
And
so
I learned always traveling and never stop it. So and so I lost identity in that sense. So I once told the teacher, she tried to classify, and was psychology in art, was in my mastery in Brazil, and then she tried to classify the artists. Artists are crazy, artists are this, artists are that. So she gave a list to us. And then I said, sorry, if it is artist that, so it doesn't exist. And she find it fantastic, because for sure she knew something about Buddha saying the non-self. So and then that's it. I don't. I mean, it's not so important. Perhaps I become a monk, so I would change the name too. So I really feel like that. I left lots of friends here that yeah. I have only this Facebook now with you. You are my only friend there, and it's meant to be like that, because yeah, many people try to approach again via Facebook, but yeah, I don't exist. I'm not the same guy. No way. I'm not. I'm doing nothing what I did before. I'm not singing anymore. I'm not making art. I'm not. Less and less I look my image in the mirror, you know, to see if I am attractive or something like that. So still sometimes coming up, some of my yeah, the bad guys sometimes come up, and I can see how bad I am. So I come home, I'm not satisfied with what I did, but I know it's like this. The ways to go to the monasteries, and yeah, there are people too, but with a teacher, we will ground it better, and further practicing all the day on. That's what I'm doing now, practicing all the day on, while walking or sitting or laying, or yeah, I still have to make my food. So it's not so important whatever I am. I don't care. I really don't care. I hope to get a new name and be forgotten later. My name in art world, I became famous, international, but I don't go behind it. I don't care. It's difficult to find, and I don't care. I have lots of art object here. I don't know what to do, and I don't care really. But for you, you can call me, yeah, Alex. Yeah. I made this yesterday.
The skeleton behind you?
No, the skeleton is me in the future. You said I'm teaching him to train, meditate, because even when I die, I want to go on with meditation, you know. And this one, I took the eyes from those lovely things. and then you see that it's just surface. You see?
It's just like a mass.
Yeah, it's just because we see everything we form inside our minds, so it's only about light. You have the aspect of the sound also, the vijnanas, but the light, it forms inside of the concept we create. But it's just a surface, like a painting. When I paint and I paint, if I paint a pipe, that it's not a pipe. I cannot use that to smoke. It's just an image of a pipe, right? So it is. We have to stay in the surface. I think it can help us to understand that it's happened at the same time, outside, inside, but actually the picture is inside our mind. And so when I took the eyes out from the pictures, it took the character, and it's just a leaf. How say? It's a surface. It's just like a two-dimensional. It's a no consistent. It lose because we add the character to it. Then we add personality, and then we think it exists. But if you merely see the reflection of it, if I take my eyes out from a picture, there is only there is no personality anymore, and so I can forget about myself easier. You see, I don't know if it is going to, because we was talking about the emptiness is always there. It's true. When I see my hands, I only can see because the emptiness is here. You see, otherwise I cannot see. So the emptiness is always there, but we never pay attention on it. You see, so it's just a matter of construct the knowledge, how to watch it, how to, and often yeah, with art we do by practicing, making objects a lot, constructing the image, and then and by meditation is to deconstruction. But art also nowadays is conceptual, to deconstruct, to understand what's going on. But Buddha is also deconstruction. He deconstructed the world, and that's what I love the mostly in. And the most powerful thing of him was to deconstruct the world, destroy the world. You know, he was desiccation it like part by part, you know, to look what was inside and go on, scientists. And yeah, that is the more I do it, like I'm busy with the first Satipatthana. I'm back to it, and well, when I notice there is the mind and it start to look to the breathing, you know, then that's the gap that I have to focus to the mind, and just notice that the body is breathing. Then you can put it apart. I still didn't get back to the jhana, but because I didn't invest so much time, and I'm doing again to it. So, but now I'm in this stage now that I can observe constantly the breathing, and but I still the breathing that doesn't disappear because I'm trying to stay in the mind without losing the breathing, because it has what I understood, it was disappearing from itself. Is that correctly? Is that correct?
You should be just an observer, and just to see that everything that you observe is impermanent.
I mean, you mean when we are observe, when we establish the breathing, that we don't, that the thoughts don't come anymore, really thoughts, and then I feel some kind of wave that I am in, and that I start to look to breathing, and then I feel it's not really me, it's somewhere else. It's kind of separation. Is that true feeling?
Yeah, you want to separate the mind from what the mind observes. The mind is an observer, and everything else is just the objects of the mind observation.
That's correctly a way to do that.
Yeah, just to see that they're constantly changing, they rise and cease, they come and go. They are not under our control.
Without to try to just observe it, without to.
Yeah, don't need to try to paint a picture, tell yourself what they are. Just to know that they are all temporary. They are constantly changing, moving, rising and disappearing, and something else replace it, something else replace one, the other. Yeah. So they are like droplets of rain that falls from the sky. They fall and then they disappear into the ground. And then you have new rain coming down and fall again to the ground. Just observing everything is just natural phenomena.
You mean, Ajahn, that while we establish breathing, that the thoughts don't come anymore, then we can stay breathing in and breathing out, observing it without.
When we do meditation, we are training the mind just to be an observer. Yeah. Once we can make the mind just being an observer, then we just observe things and don't have to do anything to the things that we observe. If we have the insight to know that there's nothing we can do or change things that we observe anyway.
Just notice it.
Yeah, just know and let them be.
And naturally, it come more and more often.
Then the mind will have no stress, no strain, no depression, nothing. The mind will just be really empty and peaceful and happy. seeing everything comes and go, even the body. And the body comes and eventually it will go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, I do with somebody who should pay me, he don't pay, so I start to have bad feeling. Then I know maybe it's my karma because I did before black money by playing without paying the government. So I take it as a karma. So then I relieve it. So I'm using it as a monkey still, because then I get happy because I'm using the knowledge that I learned from Buddha, but still not in the it's still a lot of logic inside. When what you tell me is that just notice it, okay?
Just
okay.
let go. The Buddha say just see and just merely see, just merely hear, just merely feel, just observe. Don't have to do anything to everything that you know and see. Don't have to ask why or what, so forth. They all come and go. Look at all the things that you have passed from the time of birth to now. So many things came and gone out of your life, right?
Yeah, if you start to think, you get cuckoo. You cannot think about this. You just have to notice it, and yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you don't have to know why are things like this? Why are people like this? That's because this is the way they are. That's all you have to know. And there is really no question if you understand the nature of the world. But if you don't understand the nature of the world, we'll keep asking, how come it's like this? How come it's not like that? Yeah. That's because it's the way it is.
Yeah. By the way, Ajahn, you started to post more videos from before. I told you I follow you 8 years already, but you start to post to place some in the Facebook. It's fantastic. I'm following them, And I'm watching this a lot. It make me calm. Not only this, it look like it have timing with what I'm doing, it's perfect. And yes, that's all what I do. You know what? When I'm not meditating, I'm watching Dhamma, or I'm eating. But also, when the more I meditate, the less I like to eat, or I enjoy food, because I know it's gonna bring me. It used to bring me trouble. I already start to control it, because But it's amazing the power what changed in my life. All the things I used to use before, I don't use it anymore. I live alone, and I feel satisfied and happy. And problems like I told you, my brother died, another have cancer and this and that. It don't touch me. So it's so amazing the difference that. Yeah, it's like you said, it's better just to go ahead and go to the next stage, and by keeping the mindfulness by doing every day, all day long, to do it for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks until get into jhanas, and then go on.
The goal is just to keep our minds still and not reacting. Then the mind will be safe and stable and happy. As soon as you react, then your mind becomes disturbed, agitated.
You have to be alone, teacher.
When you first starting, you have to be alone. But once you know how to tame your mind, then you can be anywhere with anybody.
Yeah, it is, because otherwise I get sad. I react, let's say 20 times, okay, because I have to sometimes to go out for something. But once I do something that I don't like, so then I know already it's time to gonna live somewhere else where I can practice it in a properly territory, you know. So I told you that I'm organizing to go to Thailand, yeah, but without hurry. So buying the ticket and organizing. I find somebody who is helping me to take away my things, and I have also a boat. I told you I tried to go I bought a boat to meditate, to get rid from my neighbor. I bought a new problem, but now I solved it. So this year was without to talk. I was busy with or half a year more or less with this boat, but I find a good place for him now, and so therefore I'm back to my rhythm of meditation. Boat will be there for 6 months or more, so I don't need to think about it. But that will be the time I plan to because when we don't have problems more, and we don't understand the tendencies to create problems, you know, the mind will that's what I noticed. I have had fantastic time, and after this I was very agitated because something changed my structure here. Now I get it back. And then I decided the only thing I want to do is to prepare to leave Holland, and my direction is Thailand. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have to go to the next person now.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you. I hope you reach your goal soon.
I hope so too.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Margareta from Indonesia. Margareta.
Hello, Ajahn.
You have any question?
I don't have really any question today because lately the work is so busy. So I've been so tired and lazy to practice. I only do my morning chanting, but that's it. So I think maybe by joining the room again, I can get some encouragement to start my practice again.
Okay. Try to do more if you can.
Yeah.
Okay. At least don't give up. Don't stop. Even if you can only do just chanting, it's better than not doing at all.
Yeah, I try. I try at least doing once a day.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, then let me go to Julia. Hi, Julia. Haven't seen you for a while. From Colorado, huh?
Oh, Ajahn, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Are you well?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay.
Looks like you have snow, huh? It's in the back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, snow.
I used to love snow and I used to love mountains, and I'm in a cabin and I've been doing a lot of retreat and meditating, and I tried what Ajahn recommended last time, was to keep the mind silent. And I switched the object from like khandas to like vimut as the object, as a ramana. And that was helpful. And then, I'm eating like Ajahn said, it's all
you're mixed up in a bowl.
But I want Ajahn teaching, but I don't know the best question. Right now, things feel fine, but maybe the mind is a little bit concentrated. So I feel like I need to wait until the concentration goes so that I can see which places have the stability and which places are dependent on causes and conditions.
What you want to do is to train your mind to become still and be observing and not reacting. That's the goal of practice.
Okay.
Then your mind will not be running around trying to manage, trying to do things which doesn't really make any difference to your mind, whether you change them or not.
Okay.
What really matters is how to keep your mind calm and under control. So you need to do a lot of mindfulness, but in order to be able to control your mind, to always remain calm and not reacting.
Okay.
And then try to study the nature of things that the mind comes into contact with, that they are like that. They have been like that long time ago, and they'll be like that after you die. We're not going to change anything in this world. This is the way the world is. Constantly changing, constantly always, being whatever they are. They are causes that cause them to be. They themselves are causes, and they're causing something else, and then this is what's causing them to be like the way they are right now. So it's not for us to come and change the world. It's for us to come and change our mind, to stop it from reacting, just to become an observer. Like the Buddha said, just merely see. When you see something, just merely see. When you hear something, just merely hear. Don't have any desire or any aversion for them. Don't have any attraction or aversion for them. Just be merely like a camera. A camera take a photo and without any prejudice, right? So that's what the mind should be, without any prejudice, without any like or dislike. And they can only do this when the mind becomes calm and still, and having upekkha. So this is what we want to build up in the mind, is upekkha. Once the mind has upekkha, then the mind will be peaceful and calm and happy all the time, without having to have anything to make it happy. Because it's delusional to think that the mind can only be happy because it has something, because whatever something that the mind has will eventually disappear from the mind. And then that happiness will then disappear along with the disappearance of that object.
Thank you, Ajahn.
So keep practicing mindfulness, meditate, and get into jhana as much as possible. Then you will be happy and content. And you can then accept things the way they are.
I have a question about Ajahns advice.
Go ahead.
Okay. In my experience, there are different kinds of upekkha. And one way is to allow the mind to settle, and then naturally the equanimity arises. And another way is jhana, but that feels more forced. So when Ajahn says control, is that different than force?
It's forcing. You have to force your mind, because if you don't force your mind will not give in. It will keep on wandering, running around in circle. So you have to stop it from running in circle. Your thoughts are running in circle.
Okay.
You get up in the morning, you keep thinking until you go to bed. And then the next morning you get up, you keep thinking again until you go to bed again. And you never find what you want. You never find happiness from letting the mind wandering around. So you want to stop it. So you have to force it. If you don't force it, it will not stop by itself. So forcing is, sometimes you think forcing is not natural. The reason why you have to force is because your mind is not natural right now. See? So you have to force it to stop. That's when it becomes natural. You are forcing it to become natural.
Okay. So if I do jhana upekkha.
Yeah, you're forcing it to become natural. See? Right now it's not natural. When you keep on thinking this is not natural, this is craziness.
Okay.
You know why people get crazy? Because they think too much, right?
Okay, thinking too much. So if I stay in upekkha jhana, then eventually I will come out, right? Or will the thoughts stop altogether?
Then you come out, but it's under your control now. See, then you can let it think in terms of vipassana.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
If you think in terms of vipassana, it won't make your mind stressful. It will make your mind calm. If you look at everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay.
But we don't like to look at things as anicca, dukkha, anatta. We like to look at the opposite. We want everything to be niccang, sukhang, atta. That's when we have dukkha, because things are never going to be niccang, sukhang, atta.
Okay.
Understand the difference between anicca, dukkha, anatta and niccang, sukhang, atta. They are the opposite of each other. Niccang, sukhang, atta is delusional. Anicca, dukkha, anatta is truth, is wisdom.
Yes.
Okay. If you cannot force your mind to stop, then you cannot stop it from thinking about niccang, sukhang, atta. If you can stop the mind, and then you can then force it to think of things in terms of anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try.
Try to stop it first.
Okay.
It's like taking a U. It's like taking a U-turn. Our mind is going in the wrong direction. So you want to stop it. Then you take a U-turn and go back the other direction.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I think who's next? Sulan from Singapore. Always last and always in the last.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, sorry, I always late. Yeah, I have some questions.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. So I got do chanting recently. Then I think like one of the nights, like maybe I have a bad dream. Then I think I heard like not very good noise. Yeah. And after that I was quite scared. I think I was sleeping at that time. Then after that I was chanting, but I was sleeping at that time. And then I felt peace. Yeah, I wasn't scared the moment I started chanting. So yeah, I felt that chanting is good. Sorry, can you hear me?
I can hardly hear you now. Something wrong with your microphone.
Okay, let me.
You might have to shout. Can you shout?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ajahn.
Yeah,
So
that's better.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So I was sharing that recently I got to chanting. Then after that, I think it's quite helpful because like there was one night when I was sleeping. Then I think while I was sleeping, I think I heard some disturbing noise, and then it made me quite scared. And then immediately the mind started to chant, and yeah, so the fear immediately went away, and then it became peace. Yeah, but I know that I'm sleeping at the time. Yeah, so I think chanting is good.
Yes, chanting is the way of raising your mindfulness to stop your mind from reacting to things like love or fear or hate.
Yeah, and yeah, I think maybe I'm having like bad dreams because I think my mind is quite low. A lot of defilements. Yeah.
You're getting somewhere now. Now you can see the benefit of chanting, right? Before you might be doubtful, what is the purpose of chanting? Now you know, if you're fearful, just keep on chanting and then your fear will disappear.
Yeah, the fear just disappeared. So it's very powerful.
Okay. You can use mantra also. You can use Bhutto or chanting.
Yeah.
This will pull your mind away from the object of fear. Once you don't think about the thing that caused you fear, then your fear will disappear.
Yeah, that's true. Then I think in workplace I also have some fear, like I scared of like speaking out. Yeah. Then in such cases where I cannot really just focus on the mantra, I need to like I need to overcome the fear and speak up. So I can't really use the mantra as a way to help.
Then you use wisdom.
Use wisdom.
Yeah, whatever will be, will be. Whatever's gonna happen, let it happen. It's anatta, you cannot control things.
Yeah.
If people don't like what you say or do, then it's too bad.
Yeah.
Don't expect things, don't expect people or things to go the way you want it to be going.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just speak what I have in mind.
Yeah, as long as you know it's right, it's good, it's not harmful to other people, then it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then I think recently I also been contemplating about just bearing with the conditions, whatever conditions in my life, whatever it is, so it is. But I still find it very tough.
That's because you're still resisting. See? If you're fully accepting it, then it's not tough.
Okay. I need to fully accept it.
Yeah.
Then it won't be tough.
Right. If you feel tough, just keep on chanting to stop your resistance.
Yeah. I tried chanting and I downloaded some Pali chants also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chanting will stop your mind from reacting to the situation. And when your mind stops reacting, then you'll feel comfortable, you'll feel fine.
Yeah. I feel fine when I start chanting.
Okay, once you feel fine, then you don't need to chant. But as soon as you don't feel fine, then you have to start chanting again.
Okay. Like, then how do I overcome ill will and resentment if any such feelings arise?
Same way, keep on chanting.
Keep on chanting.
Then you'll stop, you will stop. But this is a temporary measure. If you want to stop it completely, you have to use wisdom. And then it's more difficult to explain here. It depends on, you have to look at everything as being anatta. Then you will have no effect. If you think that everything is just the four elements, then how can you get angry at the four elements, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so if everything is four elements, then there's no way I can get angry. Okay.
See, the body is made up of the four elements, right?
Oh, okay.
But you don't look at the body as the four elements. You look at the body as a person. And you look at the action as being control, purpose, purposeful. But actually, every action is really natural action, natural happening, like the blowing of the wind, like the rain coming down. It's not purposeful, it just happened. So whatever people say or do to you, it's like that. Think of them as like rain or wind blowing at you. Then you won't get angry at them.
Okay. I will try my best. Yeah.
Okay. Try and see how it works.
So I just have to keep trying and trying and trying, right?
Or ask yourself, who are you angry with? Are you angry at the water element or the earth element or the fire element or the wind element?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is very powerful. Yeah, I never saw it that way.
Well, that's what the body is, right? It's a composition of the four elements.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ajahn, will I have the chance to see you?
You already see me now. What?
In person?
It's better now because it's hard for you to see me in person because I'm too busy. I have too many people coming to see me every day. So if you come to see me in person, you just might say hello and then goodbye.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't need to see me in person. I'm here now in person. Just exactly the same person that you'll see me when you come to see me here. Okay. No different.
Yeah.
All right?
I feel that maybe I need someone to admonish me.
You have to admonish yourself. You have to be your own teacher. The Buddha said you have to be your own teacher.
Okay.
You have to teach yourself by using the teaching of the Buddha to teach yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then you can always teach yourself. If you rely on somebody else to teach you, then if they're not around, then who's gonna teach you?
Yeah, I do feel scared. Like what if when people that I love and respect is not around? I feel scared that I don't know what can I do anymore. Yeah.
That's because you think that's because you want everything to be permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. You forget this.
Yeah, I forgot this. I keep forgetting.
So don't rely on anything, but rely on yourself, because yourself will always be with you wherever you are.
Okay.
Rely on yourself to be your own teacher.
Rely on myself.
Once you become a Sotapanna, you will be your own teacher. A Sotapanna doesn't need anybody else to teach him or her to get to Nibbana. He can teach him or herself to go to Nibbana.
But can the Sotapanna or like noble disciples still love their teachers?
Still what, the teacher?
Can they still love their teachers?
They love, but then they're not attached to the teacher. They can take or leave the teacher. If they're around the teacher, they can use their teacher to help them. If they have no teacher, then they can use themselves to be their own teacher.
Okay.
All right? Try to be self-reliant. Don't rely on other people.
Yeah.
Maybe relying on how to be your own resource, your own help. If you don't know how, then you have to go and study from the noble disciple. Once you know how to do it, then you don't need them anymore.
Because I think I keep relying on people. Then when I like in need of help, I'll keep looking for people for help.
And if they're not around, then what do you do?
When they are not around,
then you're in trouble, right?
Yeah, I think that's why I always in trouble.
So try to be your own teacher. Then you won't be in trouble, because then you can always solve your problem.
Okay.
The easiest way to solve your mental problem is use of chanting. If you feel bad at any time, just keep on chanting until your bad feeling disappear.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
Let me go to Facebook. I think we might have some questions from Facebook. Any questions on Facebook today?
Yes, Ajahn, we have 13 questions from Facebook.
Okay.
The first two questions from Anil. The first question is how to manage the self-life. Thank you.
How to manage the
self-life.
Self, S-E-L-F.
Yes.
And life.
Yes.
L-I-F-E.
Yes.
Well, there's no self-life in the first place. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you start talking about the body as your life, then you cannot manage it. The body has its own way, and it's gonna manage itself. It's gonna get old, get sick, and die. And the only way you can do is to accept it for what it is.
And the second question is sexual assault a crime? Thank you.
Sexual assault? If you hurt other people, it's a crime. It's bad karma. Nobody wants to be hurt by other people. So don't hurt other beings. The Buddha. This is one of the principal teaching of the Buddha. avoid hurting other beings, whether human or animals.
And next question from Cristobal. If human beings become extinct, is it equivalent to nirvana?
No. The the extinction of defilement is equal to nibbana in each individual mind. If you can make your defilement extinct, then you have reached nibbana.
Next question from Liao Ying Meng. Accordingly, the law of duality is not the truth. How do one discuss and share the Buddha teaching without the duality? Example, right and wrong, good and bad, hot and cold. Thank you.
You can use them to teach the Buddha's teaching, but they are not the thing you want to to rely on. They only are tools to teach you to reach to a point where you can have peace and happiness.
Next question from Yapto. Namaste, Ajahn. I have some question. What is a relic? Only an arahant can leave a relic after death.
Yes, normally for ordinary people, once they die, the bone will remain as bone or decompose and just become earth. But for the arahant, some parts of the bone will turn into stone rather than decompose. They'll become stone instead.
And the second question from Yato is, in Thailand, where can we find a museum or monastery that keep a relic?
Go to all the famous Ajahn monastery, Ajahn Man, Ajahn Cha, Ajahn Mahabua. They are relics. They won't turn into relics, and they are kept in a JD where you can go and pay respect.
Next question from To Tang Peng. Dear Ajahn, does practicing Buddha teaching involve developing compassion to perfect? The situation is I have an elder family member which I doesn't like the character, so I try to avoid to contact or even ignore her.
When you finally have accomplished in your practice, you will have compassion for all beings, regardless of what your opinion of them might be before that. So just keep on practicing, then eventually you will have full compassion for everybody.
Next question from Xiao Chang. Ajahn, I noticed that when I work without taking a short nap in the afternoon, my mind will be very alert when meditation at night. My state at night is better if I'm taking a nap in the afternoon. Why is it so?
I don't know, maybe because it had enough rest, so it becomes alert when you meditate.
Next question from Pataranai. What are the benefits of joining the Katin merit?
It's just one form of making merit. It's one form of dana or charity. Not different from any other types of charity, like giving food, building a kuti, or even donate your money to other charities. They give you the same benefit.
Two questions from Tae Ting Loon. The first question is, I have happy and funny thoughts from time to time. Most of it is thinking about things from the past. I sometimes lose my mindfulness around people and just laugh out of nowhere. It is bad to always have happy thoughts that do not promote mindfulness of the present moment.
It's not bad to have happy thoughts, but it's just the way how you should control your venting of this happy thought. If you are among people, then you want to control your venting of this happiness. You don't want to cause any people any discomfort by your action. It is not harmful to have happy thought. It's harmful only when you have bad thoughts or sad thoughts. That's when you have to stop it by using your mindfulness or mantra.
And the second question is, the Buddha also mentioned that we should arouse wholesome state of mind and abandon unwholesome ones. What does he mean? And are funny thoughts not included?
Well, when you say wholesome, it means thought that is useful for the mind. Thought that will make the mind calm and peaceful. But funny thoughts sometimes doesn't make the mind calm and peaceful. So we don't want to use the funny thoughts. You want to use wholesome thought, which really means the thought about anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Next question from Joko. Thanachan, I want to ask a question. What kinds of Katanyu Kataveti or gratitude deeds that we as students can do to our Dhamma teachers?
Just follow the practice. This is the best way to show your respect to your teacher, is to follow what he teaches you to do.
And the last question from I Mai Soon. Dear Ajahn, I was in a situation where helping the bad person could also mean letting the bad person continue harming the good person. But I want to save both persons and do not want to harm anyone.
Well, you just stop helping the bad people, because by helping bad people, you're supporting them to go hurt other people. And by not supporting bad people, it doesn't mean it's not a bad karma. You're just not doing anything, that's all. Okay, I think I forgot about Evie. I think she's the last person in the room, so I have to come back to her. Evie, you have any question?
Yeah, Ajahn. Thank you for remembering me, Ajahn. Ajahn, I want to ask. My mother is sick now, and she is very worried about her own health. I have looked for a doctor and arranged treatment for her, and this doctor is my friend. But my mother is still worried, whereas I am not as worried as before, because I feel like I have a layer over me of worry. But my mother does not have that layer, right? What can I do to calm my mother?
Well, it depends. If she asks you for help, then you can tell her to meditate, to do chanting or do the mantra, or to accept the truth of anicca, dukkha, anatta. But if she doesn't ask you, then there's nothing you can do for her.
Yeah, seems like anicca, dukkha, anatta. She must cannot accept lah. Cannot accept because she must. It's very hard to accept by people not meditating. All right. So I cannot help her to come.
I guess not.
Yeah, it's very. I pity of her. I'm very pity of my mother. So can I just pray to Buddha to save my mother? Because my mother every day he pray to Dewi to Kuan Im and another bodhisattva to save her, to save herself.
The Buddha said we are our own savior. No one can save us but ourselves.
Yeah, I know that, but I just
Attahi
feel what she
atano
says.
nato. Attahi atano nato. You are your own refuge. The Buddha only teaches you how to be your own refuge.
Yeah, so I just do the good thing, check his blood, see the doctor, or tomorrow we'll take her blood to check. So what's the problem and give her medicine. I just can do that.
Yeah, you can help her physically, but not mentally.
Yeah, not mentally, because it's anicca, dukkha, anatta. Not all people can accept lah, Ajahn.
if they can accept, then they can become noble disciples.
Yeah, but people like us, because we have listened this Dhamma, so yeah, a little more, a little bit, we can accept now. And I have another question. I have a dislike for someone, Ajahn, because I know that person is doing and saying is a lie and full of pretending. So when I see this happen, is I know that person is full of drama, pretending, and indirectly makes me dislike to this person. How do I remove this dislike, Ajahn?
By accepting them for what they are. Don't try to change them, or don't try to want them to be something different than what they are. Don't try to change apple into banana, for instance. You like banana, so every time you see an apple, you want it to become banana. And when you cannot get them to become banana, you don't like it.
Yeah, sometimes I can feel my angry is raised up now because I know she is lying and she pretending and start to play drama now. I know it.
You have to look at it that it's her business to be whatever she is being. It's not your business to try to change her or to hate her for it.
Yeah. So sometimes I just go lah. Don't want to see, don't want to hear.
That's
So
because
no
you don't have
problem.
ubeka. If you have ubeka, then you can just watch her and let her play her role.
Yeah. So I must budo.
That's right.
So
No
no problem.
Right, to stop your
My
aversion for
defilement.
her.
Yeah. I have heard Ajahn explain about Sanya, Sankara, Vedana, Vijnana, but I'm still not clear about Sanya and Vijnana. What is the difference, Ajahn?
Well, Vijnana does the work of receiving sensual objects from the sensual organs. Like it connects the mind to the body.
Oh, it's
like
not
like a
Vedana.
wire. Vijnana is like a wire that connects the appliance into the electrical outlet.
So if I have a stomach ache, that is Vedana or Vijnana?
When you have what?
Stomach ache or headache or physical sick or
you have all
the
four.
body feeling.
You have all four. They go together. They work together.
So when I meditating, my mind likes to repeat the recording of past event. Sometimes lah, who is responsible here? Is this Sanya or Vijnana?
Sanya and Sankara.
Sankara. Sankara
is thinking about the past. Sanya is remembering about the past. First you remember about the past, then you think about the past.
Sanya and Sankara. So how
they usually work together. They work by using mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
Yeah, Ajahn. And the final question is, does a Sotapanna still have dislike or hatred for someone, Ajahn?
Yes.
The Sotapanna still can hate people, Ajahn.
Can like and dislike people, yes.
Okay. So I must have upekha, Ajahn.
Yes.
Sometimes I meditate, sometimes can have upekha, but sometimes if I know mindfulness, I feel I lost control. Especially these people, Ajahn. Especially these people. She is very, how can I say? I can lose my control if I see and heard what she doing lah.
You have to look at her as a natural phenomenon. Then you won't get mad at her.
Sometimes I feel these people is like my examination or the poison for me, because I often lost my control because I see her habit.
That's because you have no wisdom. You don't see her as being anatta. You still see her as being a person, a human.
So
You have to see her as a four elements.
Four element. I know. Sometimes I see her as 32 part. Okay, but what I dislike is her habit, not her body.
The habit is also anatta.
Anatta. Anatta. Just thinking about anatta, so I can accept her habit. All right, Ajahn.
Like flooding. People don't like flooding, but they have to accept flooding, right? When it happens. You don't get angry at a flood, do you? When you're flooded, when your house is flooded.
Yeah. So if I see her again, and he start to lying again, play drama again, I must
That's the
thinking
nature.
about
That's just
her
the
nature.
Like the snow or the wind.
And I should not affect it.
Should not react. Just merely observing.
Yeah. And if has a bad karma, is her bad karma, not mine. And this is not my problem. This is her problem. Just like
That's
that,
right.
Ajahn.
That's right.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Do we have any more questions from the rest of us? You're allowed to ask another question if you like. Today we already gone about 25 minutes over 2 hours.
We have one raise her hand, Mint.
Whoever raised the hand, please go ahead and turn on your
สวัสดี
microphone.
ค่ะอาจารย์ I
Abhijato.
think you forgot me.
Oh, I see. Okay. You're Min, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see you on my screen, that's why.
Oh, okay. I think it's because the signal is not very good.
Okay. You have any question?
Yeah, Ajahn, I read the book that you wrote, your book, right? And then you say that the reason that we are slow in the practice is because we look at many things at the same time. Like for example, the body, and sometimes skip to the sanya or sankha. So we should go step by step, right?
Yes.
So if we try to see many things all together, it's gonna be not successful, right?
It depends on what you are practicing. If you're practicing mindfulness, you only want to stay at watch only one object at a time.
Okay.
Because you want to make your mind become still, you need to keep it from thinking about other things. Only think about only the thing that you are doing at the moment.
And I want to ask Ajahn about becoming a monkhood, because you say that it's going on a faster road, right? But then recently someone has told me that it's better that we have to go get into monkhood, because sometimes the temple is not a proper place for us to practice. Is this how do you think about this
About
opinion?
the temple not being a good place to practice?
Yeah, because one person told me that if you want to go
I think
monkhood, right? At this state is you're not strong enough, and
your signal is not good. Your voice just keep disappearing, so I cannot understand what you're saying.
Ajahn, can you hear me?
Okay, repeat again. repeat what you said again. It's not coming.
Okay. Okay. I'm asking about becoming a monkhood in like going to stay in a temple, right? Okay. Ajahn, can you hear me?
No, not very well. It's come on and off, come on and off.
Okay. Okay. Maybe next time. It's okay because I think
Maybe tomorrow
signals are
night.
good.
Tomorrow night you can ask in Thai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the signal here is not good.
Yeah, the signal is not so good today.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
All right. I see who else raised their hand. Anybody else would like to ask any more questions? Okay, if nobody, then I think it's about time for us to say goodbye. Thank you very much for your participation and your questions. I hope that you can benefit from it and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye. Good night.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you everyone.
Thank you for
Good night, everyone.
Okay, good night, everyone.